In today's video, we're going to find out the best outdoor security camera of 2024. Thanks so much to Tapo for sponsoring this video. Let's get started. Now, here are the 5 different cameras we're going to be comparing today. This is the least expensive to the most expensive over on this side. But starting off, we have the Tapo C120. This is a 2K camera, has little spotlights on there. It is a wired camera. Next, we have the Tapo Mag Cam. It has some spotlights on there. It is 2K as well. Then here we have the Cam Battery Pro with a 2K resolution and a spotlight. Here we have the Google Nest Cam battery, no spotlight, and it's 1080p. And then here we have the Arlo Pro 4. It is 2K and it has the spotlight on there as well. So I mounted these all on this board so that we can have a good comparison between the two. And now I'm gonna go mount this outside so we can start the comparison. That's not going anywhere. All right, now let's align all the cameras. So the C120 is pretty easy to move around. I might need to tighten these so it stays in firm place. The Mag Cam is magnetic, so you can easily position it the way you need to. Battery Cam Pro can be positioned in any way, and then you twist the back to tighten it up. The Nest Cam is on a magnet, so you can easily move it around. And the Arlo has a magnet, but it couldn't go as low as I wanted it to. Now, the goal of this video is to show you examples of how these cameras are different, but here's a quick spec sheet of kind of the main differences. Some highlights here are the Tapo cameras are the most weather resistant at IP66, and then some other cameras do require subscription to have video events or to even record anything. So make sure you double check the specifications and features before you purchase, and let me know if you do have any further questions down below. Let's get to testing. Now, just for your reference, I have mounted these cameras 11 feet high, so I do get a wider view. If you're mounting lower, you're just not going to see quite as much. All right, we now have all the cameras set up and installed, so let the testing begin. The first test is going to be field of view. How wide can each of these cameras see? So let's go through the comparison. So starting off, I've aligned all of these so you can see which one has a better field of view. So here we have the Tapo C120. It does a good job seeing most of the backyard, but then the Tapo Mag Cam, it sees everything right there, and overlaying the C120 on top, you can see how much you still have. Next, we have the Battery Cam. Again, the Mag Cam beats that. Here, the Nest Cam battery does okay. Mag Cam is able to show so much. Arlo Pro 4 did a pretty great job. Now, if you look at this, you'll see that it actually sees just about the same as the Mag Cam, but over on the right side, it's a bit more distorted, but then you can see much more of the garden boxes at the bottom of the screen and all of the tramp. The Arlo does have a little bit higher view there, but definitely the Mag Cam won this round. Next up, let's talk resolution. So the video you are watching right now is 4K resolution. That's how I've made it in my video editor. Most of these cameras are set at 2K. So here you can see this is what a 2K feels of the amount of pixels it has per inch of the video. And then some of the videos here will be 1080p. So here is the Google Nest Cam battery that shows at 1080p. Still looks pretty good, but you'll really find the crispness on the higher resolution. And then here, 720p, this is when you screen record from the viewfinder of the Cam, but when you pay for the Cam Plus, you get the full 2K experience, and so it's going to be a bit sharper. So I just want to make sure that I cover those technical details. When I do the video comparison, I'm going to blow them all up full screen, and then I'll do some zooming in, so you'll be able to really tell the different resolutions by how crisp it can be when you zoom in. I've now set all the cameras to maximum resolution. We're going to do a license plate test. Here, this is 5 feet away. This is 10 feet away. This is 15 feet away. This is 20 feet away. And taking a closer look when I was closest to the cameras here 5 feet away, you can see that the Tapo C120, that actually was the sharpest of all these. The text looks clear. I can see what state the license plate's from. The Tapo Mag Cam, the colors look great in this. It looks the most natural of all these cameras, and I can still see some very good features on my face. Battery Cam Pro is pretty washed out and gets pretty grainy. Here, the Google Nest Cam battery, I am losing some facial features because of the exposure there. The text looks good. And then Arlo Pro 4, the text looks great, but it looks like it needs to wear some glasses. And here at 15 feet away, where I can still see a little bit of my face, the Tapo C120 looks great. Again, the face is still the sharpest of all these. The Tapo Mag Cam looks pretty good. A little blurry back there. Cam Battery Pro, even more grainy than before. The numbers did come through. Google Nest Cam, a little bit blurry here, good colors. And then Arlo Pro 4, very similar, where it's still just a little bit blurry, but a little bit sharp on the text. And so the Tapo C120 definitely wins this round. It looks really great. I'd say second place is probably Google Nest Cam in sharpness. Colors, Tapo Mag Cam wins there. Now let's take a look at when they started recording with detection. Here with the Tapo C120, it saw me from the very edge of the frame, so it must have a little pre-recording going on. Next we have the Tapo Mag Cam, again from the very edge of the screen. You could see me come out to do this little test. Next we have the WiseCam Battery Pro, and here I had to stand in the middle for a minute before it picked me up for the detection. One time I had the Nest Cam where it just did not even see me. This is actually the first time that's ever happened, but it didn't catch me. So I did it again. There it caught me as I had already come into the middle of my yard here. So a little slow there. And then here with the Arlo Pro 4, it did a good job. Not quite at the very edge, but it caught me enough to see where I was moving around. And the Tapo cameras get the win here because they caught me the earliest out of all the cameras. Now next we're going to be testing the night vision and the spotlights and seeing how bright they actually are. So we're going to be doing a just plain without any night vision, spotlight, and any color night vision that's available. First up, no IR LEDs, no colored lights. Here's what we have on the Tapo C120. Pretty good, little blurring, not very able to distinguish the license plate there, but I'm impressed with the amount of color that I'm having here. Color night vision does need a little bit of light, and this does have that starlight sensor, so it did okay. And here on the Tapo Mag Cam, as I'm moving around, it does get a little bit blurry, but there is some okay color here. It's pretty dark in the backyard. Can't read what's on the license plate, but you would be able to tell if something is moving around. Here on the Wise Battery Cam Pro, a lot of blurring going on here with movement. You cannot even see that license plate. Maybe right there you could, but I couldn't pick up any numbers or anything like that. Color is pretty okay, and it's still pretty clear. On the Nest Cam battery, you can make out what's happening, and then you can't. I don't know what happened here, but this does not work good without those IR LED lights. And Arlo Pro 4, you can see some movement, different colors moving around here, but very unclear of what's happening. Let's turn on the IR LED lights and see how it goes. With any IR LED, if you have something too close, it's going to be really bright like the camera next to this. But here I can see the license plate. I can see me kind of make out my face a little bit. I can read those letters pretty clear, and the numbers, if I pause this, it look okay. So overall, this looks great. Next with the Tapo Mag Cam, very similar, wider view here. Again, not as crisp. Again, not as crisp as the C120 was, but at times I could make out the license plate there depending on the angle, but not too much blurring in the movement, which is good to see. Here with the Wise Battery Cam Pro, it's looking pretty good. There I could see the license plate really crisp and clear. Some of the facial features aren't as great here, but overall it's doing a good job, way less blurring than without those IR LED lights. And here we have the Google Nest Cam battery. Now, I'm actually pretty impressed with this. You can see that license plate very crisp and clear right there. There's some shadowing going on, and I could see my facial features and so on. So I think this one actually did pretty great with those IR LEDs, much better than the black color distortion that we had before. And the Arlo Pro 4 being able to see that license plate pretty clear, and features as well. This has some pretty good night vision going on, so happy with that as well. So all of these perform pretty well with the IR LED lights. And here we have the spotlight enabled. So here, as soon as it turns on, it's going to switch over. Now, sometimes this makes it so it's a little bit harder to read that license plate, but you do see a little more features with the color night vision. So I think it's certainly nice to have. And then I, of course, out there can see a little bit more of where I'm going outside. Here at the Tapo Mag Cam, very similar in the color reproduction here. See exactly what's happening. I can see me. Can't see my facial features as much. They are a little bit washed out, but I do have some options to change in the Tapo app, and the license plate was pretty unreadable. Here with the Wise Battery Cam Pro, we have some really good colors here with their different spotlights there. I can read the license plate pretty clear right there, and just a slight blurring of movement. And as I come close to the camera here, it's pretty hard to make out who I am because those lights are a little bit too bright. Now I had a second Wise Cam test here. I'm not sure what I changed in the settings, but colors look a little bit different, still a little washed out there on the face. Now the Nest Cam doesn't have a spotlight, so it's disqualified from this round. Let's move on to the Arlo Pro 4. Now while this isn't very sharp, I'd say this has the best saturation. I can clearly see what that license plate said right there, and I can see my face and even my beard and other facial features. So I say this might be the winner of this round. It has a few other settings in the app to adjust this, but being able to see that license plate was very great. Now let's listen to the quality of the microphones on each camera.
So first up, we have the Tapo C120. This is how I sound. The Quick-Bound Fox jumped over the lazy dog. Should be loud and clear. As I turn around, you may not be able to hear me quite as much, but of course that's going to be typical with all of these different cameras. And the further away I get, this is how I would sound as I'm walking away. I whisper. I wonder if you can hear me. All right, here we go. And here we have the mic on the Tapo Mag Cam. The Quick-Bound Fox jumped over the lazy dog. I can't pronounce some words correctly. All right, this is how I would sound if I am turning around. You probably can't hear me as much when I go that way. And then if I get further away back from the camera, here is how I would sound. And then if I go to a little more quiet talk, I whisper, not so much my YouTube voice. That's the Tapo Mag Cam. And here's how I sound on the Wisecam Battery Pro. The Quick-Bound Fox jumped over the lazy dog. And here, as I turn around while I'm talking, you will probably hear a lot less, but most likely you'll still be able to hear me a little bit. And as I scoot back further, this is how I will sound. And I just normal talking voice. Hey, how you doing over here? Hey, what's up, bro? All right, and then we have the Google Nest Cam battery. So this is what I sound like on that one. The Quick Brown Fox jumped over the lazy dog. And as I'm turning around here, you can see the different voice, the different sound or volume that I sound as I'm turning around. And as I scoot further back, you can hear how I sound way over here. And then if I go into my just normal talking voice, hey, how you doing over here? Hey, what's up, bro? This is how the camera sounds on the Google Nest Cam battery. All right, and here we have the Arlo Pro 4. This is how I sound. The Quick Brown Fox jumped over the lazy dog. And then as I turn around here, you will hear the volume change as my voice moves away from the camera. And as I scoot further back, you will still hear me probably a little bit. I'm pretty far back to the edge.
Sorry, that clip got cut short, but that's when it stopped recording the event. But out of all of these cameras, I'd say the Tapo Mag Cam did pretty good. The Google Nest Cam and the Arlo Pro 4 probably were the best. The Wise Battery Cam Pro had some really weird sounding audio. I've had that on all the clips, so maybe that's wrong, but those are the winners for this. Now let's go ahead and hear how it sounds from this end.
And here I am on the Tapo C120. This is how I'm going to sound when I am talking to you. I'm about a foot away from my phone. You don't want to make sure that you hear me loud and clear, so this is how I'm going to talk as I'm talking at a normal speed. If I'm being a little slower, like, hey, you, get off my lawn. And here is the call quality from the Tapo Mag Cam. Again, 12 inches away from the phone, talking at a normal volume and a normal speed. But if I turn up the speed, you might not be able to hear me as much. And then as I slow down, hey, you, get off the lawn.
All right, and here we have the Wisecam Battery Pro, and it's 12 inches away from the phone. And all I have to do is tap on that app, and now you can hear me. I do have an option here to mute what I hear from that. And then if I slow it down, like, hey, you, get off the lawn.
And here I am on the Google Nest Cam. For some reason I always feel like I can't hear very well on my end. We'll test that out in a minute, but this is what I sound like as I'm talking right through my phone 12 inches away, and then as I'm speeding up, and then as I'm slowing down. Hey, you, get off the lawn. And last here we have the Arlo Pro 4, again talking about 12 inches away from my phone. I'm talking pretty quickly, but if I slow it down, you can hear me any more clear, like, hey, you, get off the lawn. So those are the 5 different cameras compared with the volume on the outside.
And I'm sorry there was so much background noise there. I don't know if my mic was picking up too much, but it was about 15 to 12 feet away from these, and I guess the reflection of the house caused a lot of sound. Anyway, the Mag Cam did really great, as well as the Google Nest Cam. Those are definitely my picks for the quality on this end. Next up, it's an alarm test. Here's the C120. And that went on for about 30 seconds, and in the app you have the option to also auto alarm, and there you heard the sound as well as the lights flashed. And here we have the Mag Cam. And that was just for a few seconds. There you saw the lights flash as well. Here we have the Wisecam battery. And there, that went on for 30 seconds. And the Nest Cam does not have an alarm. And here we have the siren on the Arlo Pro 4. And so that was the Arlo Pro 4. That most likely is the most annoying alarm of all of these. And then it was not stopping. So I actually had to manipulate the voice mode to talk through the camera to get the siren to stop. I'm not sure if there's another way to do that, but that one is going to be the most annoying out of all of these. Now it's time to test out the notifications. So the speed in which we receive the notification, as well as what type of notifications we get. Now some of the cameras, if you do have a paid subscription, you'll get a much more rich notification, or you might just get a default notification that there has been an event. So let's test that out right now. We're just going to walk over there, see what pops up. And here, the first camera that saw me was the Tapo C120. It detected that there was a person. Next, we have the Wise battery cam, as well as the Arlo that detected motion. And then here, the Wise actually loaded a little thumbnail. The Tapo Mag Cam showed up. And then lastly, we had the Google Nest Cam populate. All right, so there we had our different notifications. Now, the Tapo C120 was the very first one that we received. And right now, when I look at it, you can just see the time it was detected, and it says a person was detected. If you want rich notifications, you will have to pay for the premium subscription, and then it would show like a picture of what is happening. So that was the C120, so we can just swipe those away. If we tap on that notification, it's then going to take us right to the event. So there you can see how quickly that loaded, which is really nice. Now the next notification we have here is the Wise Battery Cam Pro. So if we tap on there, you can see it did have a little picture, but there is actually no event video. You have to go further in the playback settings to find the video. Next we have the Tapo Mag Cam. So again, I click on that. It's going to take me to the video that I can view of what was happening there. So it caught me just going halfway through the lawn. Next we have the Nest Cam battery, and here it's even telling me that a person was seen. Now I do have the Nest Aware subscription, so it will even tell me the person that it saw. So it will say it saw Brett or something like that. So that is nice. And then if I pull that down, I'm seeing a little GIF animation of that actual event. So that's great. If you don't have a subscription, it will show you the notification, what type of notification it was, but it will only last for 3 hours. So if you don't click on that video now and it's been 3 hours since you see the event, that won't be there anymore. And so here, if I tap on the video, it's then going to take me to that event here so that I can see the full event. I have the option to download it or whatever right there, and I can see everything on screen loaded up really quick. And then last we have the Arlo Pro 4. Here it is showing me an event, showing me a little GIF of what it saw when the motion was detected, and it said that it has a person. Now again, I am on the trial of the premium. I'm not exactly sure what would happen if we didn't have that. Click on it, and here it's taking me to an 11-second clip that it recorded of that event. And so those are the type of notifications you can receive from these. They all perform pretty well. I'm receiving plenty of notifications. Now, some of these cameras do have a cooldown time, so it won't give you a notification until the camera's waited 90 seconds or a couple minutes. And that can be adjusted on most of these cameras, and some of them it can't be adjusted. Now, I really like on the Tapo Mag Cam and the Tapo C120, I can go in and adjust that time frame, and then I also have the option to adjust the length of the event that is going to be recorded. On some like the Arlo Pro 4, I've noticed it's stopping halfway through an event, like 11 seconds, and it will create a second event, but it's really interesting that it's not giving a longer length for that one event where there's still motion happening. The Nest Cam is recording quite long for each of those events, and the Wise Cam, I don't have the premium for that, so it's only giving me that one picture, which is really interesting. But the Tapo cams are great because it has that really long video once an event has recorded, and I can adjust that time as well. Now, the first day I had these all charged up, and I took them all off the charger at about the same time. So let's go ahead and see where the battery life is on all of the different battery cams. The C120 was wired in. All right, so here with the Tapo Mag Cam, we are currently at 90% after a few days of usage. Here, the Wise Cam Battery Pro is at 69%. The Nest Cam battery is already at 58%, and the Arlo Pro 4 is at 75%. So the Tapo Mag Cam definitely has the best battery life of all of these. Now, one of the main reasons I use outdoor cameras is to just see what is going on outside. Maybe I heard a noise, I want to quickly browse and see what is happening. So let's do a test on speed of loading of each of these cameras. I'm going to show them all on screen here, and when I tap, let's see how they load. So here we have the Tapo C120. Instant live view right there. And let's take a look at the Tapo Mag Cam. 10 seconds later. And so there, after a few seconds, it did load up. It did take a little bit longer than the others, but that is a great view, and I love how wide that camera is. Here we have the Wisecam Battery Pro, and this took about 8 seconds. There we go, after just a few seconds. Here we have the Nest Cam battery loaded instantly. There we have the Arlo Pro 4. There it took a few seconds. One last test is to see how these integrate with the rest of my smart home, to see if they pop up here on my Google Nest Hub Max. It will also work on Echo Show devices. Show me the Tapo C120.
Okay, streaming Tapo C120 on Nest Hub Max.
And there we go, we have our live view outside. It looks like the stream isn't fully connected, but it is working. Show me the Tapo Mag Cam.
Alright, streaming Tapo Mag Cam on Nest Hub Max.
And there we have another live view of the camera right there. Show me Wisecam Battery Pro.
Sure, streaming Wise Battery Cam on Nest Hub Max.
And there the feed loaded with sound and everything. Show me Nest Cam Battery.
Sure, streaming Nest Cam Battery.
And there we go, the full feed loaded right up. Show me the Arlo Pro 4.
Alright, streaming Arlo Pro 4.
And there we have our full live view. So after spending a few days with these cameras, it's time to give them a rank from worst to best and my top recommended one of these different 5 cameras. All right, number 5 is going to be the Wisecam Battery Pro, even though it does have some good features and some pretty good quality. Next up, we're going to do the Arlo Pro 4. This is because it does have many features under the premium subscription as well. There's no internal SD card, so if you're not paying for a premium subscription, you're not going to have recorded events either. And then next, we're going to do the Google Nest Cam. Now, I think the quality of the camera is good. It's too bad it's 1080p, but you still get a little bit of event recording. The negative here is you can only have those 3 hours, and then after that, the events are gone. It would be cool if it was like just 1 hour of events that it recorded, but that's now not how it is, and I am already paying for a Nest camera subscription, so I was able to see a lot more. And then the second best camera here, or the runner-up, is the Tapo C120. Now, this camera is so good for the price. You get so many great features, has the SD card storage so that you can have everything stored on there, and you can easily download it if you need to. And then it has just some great quality picture for such a small little device. You just need to have it plugged in a location, so it might be hard to get it where you might want it. With a little bit of work, you'll be able to do that, but it's really such a little versatile camera. And I like how it has the more rich notifications if you want, and you can also pay for cloud storage if you don't have the SD card or you just want it stored on the cloud. And then the winner of all of these cameras today is the Tapo Mag Cam. Now, I've actually been using this camera for almost a year now, and I can say this has been such a great camera to have around. I love how it has great battery life. You can have up to 300 days of battery life with this, and then you're able to mount it pretty much anywhere. I didn't have to add any outlets anywhere or anything like that. I just mounted it where I wanted to, and the cameras are still working from the time I was originally getting them charged up and installed. Now, if you have higher usage, you might have to do that more, but you also have the option to add a solar panel to these, and I have one that is still 100% after having it outside for that amount of time. And there's so many different features that you have available. It has the micro SD card slot, it has great camera resolution, and everything is stored right there on the SD card. So it has been such a great camera. So I'm going to leave my top picks down in the description below. If you have any further questions, please let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.